What's up, y'all? It's your girl Kasey, and I'm back again with another video. And this is just talking about starting over. So, if you guys follow me on social media, then you guys know that I am back into the news industry. And so, I just want to talk about starting over and like hitting the reset button, but in ways that are not commonly talked about here on YouTube, because starting over can seem very inspirational for some, and it can be very defeating for others. But I feel like when you have your mindset together, it really does allow you to correct the mistakes that you previously made. And so one thing that I really suggest that you do if you're thinking about starting over in any area or aspect of your life is to really write down those life lessons that you felt like you didn't all the way accomplish in your first season of life. Because as many of you guys know, if you don't pass a lesson the first time, more than likely you're going to have to retake the test until you pass it. So writing down and making a mental note of what lessons you felt like maybe I didn't like score 100 there and I could like do that better this time, and taking that into this next season of your life will definitely help you like progress and make sure that this new change or new start like really sticks. Number two is really like, okay, so I kind of want to pull out my Bible study journal to kind of remind myself why I said this. Give me 1 second. Okay, I've been like doing some Bible study in my iPad through Good Notes, and yesterday I was doing the soap method. And if you don't know, here it is up on the screen. And I read Mark chapter 11, verse 24, and it reads, I tell you, you can pray for anything, and if you believe that you'll receive it, it will be yours. And honestly, I was like, okay, like that sounds great in theory, but like, what does the rest of the verse say or the chapter say? Because it's like, yes, I could pray for things, and I'm supposed to receive it, but what if I'm praying for something that I'm not supposed to be praying for? Or like, what if God tells me no? And so I was just like, let me go back and like read the full chapter. So I said all this to say, whenever you're going into your new season, you definitely want to pray for things, but this is how you want to pray for things. Cause I wrote it down. Okay. So I just read Mark chapter 11, verse 24. But if you go back a verse, and it reads in part, Mark chapter 11, verse 23 reads in part, I cannot have any doubt in my heart when I pray. So if you're questioning like, okay, should I be doing this? Like, will I get this? Maybe I won't get this. Then you probably will not receive this because you don't even believe in your full heart of hearts that you should be receiving that. And I talked to my dad about this because I was like, but dad, like, what am I supposed to do if this is what I want to pray for? Then how do I not have doubt and then like not be upset if God doesn't answer the thing, right? And so this is why it just matters so much how you pray, because I was talking to my dad and he was like, well, when you are in God's word and when you're in his will, then it should be easier for you to know what to pray for. And when you know what to pray for, then it's easier for you to be confident in what you're praying for, because you know that it's of God's will to pray for that thing. And so then you don't have to have doubt in your heart about what you're praying for so that you will receive it. I felt that so for real. Because like, I'm like, well, what if God doesn't want this? And, you know, when you're walking in his will, he'll tell you what, you know, he wants you to do in your next steps, and he'll guide you and he'll lead you, right? And then also on the back end of that prayer, you know, and all you really need is a mustard seed of faith. We all know that. Okay. So, and then on the back end, I'm like, Lord, like, let your will be done and let my heart not be hardened based off of your answer or your response, but know that all things work together for my good because I'm like called to your word and I love you, you know, and those are just like words of affirmation in my heart to say, I am called and I do love him. And if he does not give me the desires of my heart, I will not have a hardened heart because of it. Okay. So that's the first verse 23. And then I already read verse 24. And then continuing the next verse 25, it continues to say, I must forgive those who have sinned against me so that the Father can forgive me. And so then I like wrote this list down of people that I have not forgiven in my heart. And I just wrote it down and just said, I forgive such and such for such and such. And I did that. And then at the end, I just said, I am forgiving these offenses and releasing them from my heart. Because like, I don't want to walk around with like, I'm going to just say baggage for lack of a better word, but all of these offenses, because it's not doing anything but keeping me further from God. Because I'm just like, God, like, how did you let this happen to me? And to be completely honest, like, some things he allowed to happen and some things I made happen myself. But either way, he's going to use it to prepare me for this next season of starting over. And I believe that. So all of that wraps into one. And then I feel like going into a new season or a restart really just depends on your joy, because you're supposed to count it all joy. So like, I may not be where someone else thinks that I'm supposed to be, but I know that I'm right where God wants me to be. And God and I are good. You know what I'm saying? So don't come over here in your doubts of what I'm doing to throw doubt into my heart or in my mind, because I don't have to explain to you what God and I talk about in our private time. So just being mindful of just having joy where you are and letting that joy overflow from you so that other people can also be happy for you without questioning, at least to your face. Now, you really can't control what people are going to say behind your back, but so that they are not questioning you and your decisions. Speaking of that, whenever it's time for me to like start over, I'm very slow for me to post it on social media because I don't want to hear anybody's mouth. And then it got so bad to where like a lot of people would ask me in person, and I would say, I don't know. And I think I've said this like in a previous video, but when I was talking to Miss Pamela at Columbia, she was like, but you do know, and why are you saying that? Because you're just doing nothing but making your own self worse. And so I would just say, hey, like, I have a lot on my mind right now. I am in a space of making decisions, and I really don't want to share it right now. And most of the time they would respect that. So it's just like, whenever you're about to start over and you really want to like either go ghost or disappear for 6 months, like the rest of these YouTube videos, just have something prepared, like for you to say just to other people that may question your motives or question like your strategy. Just say, hey, I'm doing this right now. And I have a lot that I want to deal with. Or you could just say, hey, I don't really feel comfortable with sharing this with you right now. I love you. I do appreciate your thoughts and prayers, but I want to keep what I'm going through to myself. And you don't even have to explain anything else, because I, as an over-explainer, a former over-explainer, because I'm coming up out of that, I know that like people really don't deserve like a whole lot of different answers, and people really aren't going to care enough for a full detailed explanation and dissertation about why you're doing something or not doing something. Be quiet and have your PR statement ready to go off the tip of your tongue. I feel like starting over, especially like in your 30s, is just very like renewing and refreshing, because you have so much life that you've already experienced that you can like really navigate into a better season of your life. And that's what's so great about this cycle called life, because all you're doing is just evolving and reinventing yourself constantly. Like, people are making it a bigger deal than what it is on YouTube for clicks and all this other stuff, but as you grow, it's natural to evolve. That is the whole point of growing and evolving, especially like if you're in a relationship. You're supposed to be growing and evolving together, and you're supposed to be sharpening each other, and iron sharpens iron. In regards to if you're in a romantic relationship or a platonic relationship, that's what you should be doing. You should be pushing someone to grow and evolve, and it doesn't have to be as elaborate as people are making it with saying, oh, go away for 6 months and reappear as a new person. It's really not that serious. Each and every day, you should be striving to be a better person. Each and every day, you should be striving to be closer to God. Each and every day, you should be striving to help someone. And you should be striving to put a smile on someone's face each and every day, no matter how small it is. That's how evolution happens. You don't just wake up and be somebody different. You're just not gonna do that. That's not realistic. And by saying, oh, like, do these things and you'll be different. No, do those things every single day and you're gonna continue to be better decade over decade. So that's my mini rant about starting over. Sorry I got a little long-winded at the end, but I really hope that you subscribe to this video, give me a thumbs up, and please follow me on all social media platforms, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.